So the motor in the Toyota is getting, I wouldn't say tired, but it's getting some pretty bad blow-by. I cleaned the carburetor on it the other day, put it back on, and I was running it on gasoline. And I've got two cylinders that are running really, really cold. It's got a pretty good misfire. Still driving it, but it's time to start looking to having something to dump back in that truck. Thank you very much to my buddy Danny. He had this laying around out back. It's been sitting out on a pallet for I don't know how many years. Just a generic small block Chevy. I ran the numbers on it. Comes back to a 76 to 79 Chevy truck engine. Standard 350, 165 horse. Nothing special. Just a generic small block. Like I said, it's been sitting around. It's pretty nasty. The story he got on it when it was given to him was that it was a runner in a pickup truck and it was removed because the guy was putting a big block in. So I'm going to go through, tear this motor down, freshen it up, probably put a very, very mild camshaft in it, new lifters, push rods, gasket kit, real basic poor man rebuild, because the only reason I'm doing this, other than my other engine's got such bad blow-by, I don't want to be taking the money I was saving in fuel by running it on a gasifier and turn around and be spending that on putting oil in the darn thing. Because right now, with my commute being 110 miles a day, it's about a quart every other day, if not a little bit more if I'm driving it hard. Yeah, that's wasting money, pouring money down on the side of the road. I mean, the truck's not going to rust away because it's coated in oil, but meh. So yeah, I'm going to get this thing tore down and see what we can make out of it.
Kind of scaring me. Let me try doing it from this way.
Just bump the trigger just a little bit.
Can.
Come on. Come on.
Ooh, that scared me.
Yeah, let's use the electric impact.
Yeah. Just let me see. Get it there.
Twist it back and forth till it goes on there.
Did it?
Turn it a little bit. Yep. Now go ahead and pull the trigger. Okay, lift off of it. You gotta pay attention to make sure you get the bolt, the nut, and the washer.
Where's the washer? Where's this bell?
I got it. It's in my hand.
Oh, okay.
Now get these two.
This isn't gonna be easy, right? Look how easy.
Good. Okay. You only need a little bit. See, now I got the bolt and washer. Okay, that one.
Okay, so that.
Good.
Kind of easy. I'm not really scared.
Okay, I'll do those ones.
Okay. I have a baseline spin on this one. It's a little bit easier, right?
They're all easy.
Yeah.
Especially when you've done as many times as I have.
Oops. That fell out. Oh, fell.
Grab a socket.
Was that again? Oh, this way.
This one. Just a little bit. Okay. This one over here. This one up here.
This is more easier.
Yep.
So.
Okay, now we have bolts out. Valve covers can come off. So go ahead and pop down.
Yeah,
Pop down.
Okay.
Grab this right here and pull back. This whole metal piece should pop off.
Oh, scared me. Whoa! That is really gassy.
Now get this one over here.
Okay.
There you go. You just pulled your first set of valve covers, son.
Yeah.
Don't make it happen that. You'll end up spinning wrenches for a living.
Yeah.
This motor's actually really clean inside.
Kind of shiny too. And
Still
there's
got
some gas in a little bit. It's not gas
Oil,
in here.
not gas.
Oil. Okay.
And the oil's actually got decent color to it.
Decent color?
Yeah, that means this motor was probably actually maintained, which is
Oh.
good.
Okay.
All right.
So
That's
I'm
about
gonna
as
use
far
it
as
a
I
lot.
want you to go on it. Now I'm going to go ahead and start tearing into it, okay?
Okay.
Thank you for the help. Give me that. Tips of the valve all look good. Still oil sitting on them. That does lead me to believe this probably was a running engine when it was pulled, just because there's still oil at the top end. But they are nice and clean, no strange wear patterns. Good sign. We do have some bits of nylon sitting around the outside head bolts. So I'm going to assume, yep, that's a piece of timing gear. So this had the nylon coated gears in it, which are due for replacement. And of course, it's always the corner head bolts that have that around it, as your oil flows to the corner of the head before it goes back down. So any of your heaviest things in the oil will be sitting there. But kind of to be expected. Oh, I need a 3/8 to get in there. Time for battery and Akita. Still coolant block. That's a good sign. Head bolts all came out nice and clean too. Okay, how easy are you gonna pop off? Not too easy. Time for pry bar. Get off the dowel pin, damn it. Oh. Definitely got a lot of carbon. Couldn't tell you if it's got a ridge or not. There's so much carbon in the top of the cylinder. Definitely a very low compression engine, I would say, just because the pistons are so far down in the bore that there's almost a 1/4 of an inch carbon ring at the top. I'm not seeing any reason that this wasn't a running motor when it got pulled, which makes me happy. I can't think of any reason why I would reuse these lifters, so we'll see if we can get them out of there. If I'm doing a cam, I might as well do lifters. And if they all come out, that's a good sign. A little bit of water on them. Should just be from sitting, I assume. Some of these are a little bit further down the bore. We'll have to rotate the motor around to get them out. I like that they're all freely moving though. That's a very good sign. Yeah, if I didn't mention it before I started tearing this engine down, I did roll it over quite a bit. It spins nice and freely. I didn't bother to do a compression check, but it definitely had compression. These things have like no wear at all. Like beautiful, perfect. Cool. Yeah. I'd venture to say the cam's okay. But then again, like, this is a completely unknown engine. I might get in here and find out it has a cam in it. Don't know. Find out here in a couple minutes. Ooh! That guy is on there. Release the schmoo. Like I said, just embrace the fact you will make a mess, and then it doesn't hurt as bad. Let's go get cleaned up against that block. Pretty happy that cool, it's still green. Yeah. Uh-oh. That's not good. I hear clunkies in the oil pan. Oh. I missed the lifter. Ah, pickup tube fell off. And more nylon in the bottom of the pan. That's timing gear components. Yep, the tack weld broke off. Interesting. That was the exact same thing that just happened in my motor. Very interesting. pistons sure are clean looking. Every rod's tight. That's a good sign. This thing is super clean inside. Way cleaner than I was expecting for a free engine. God, it looks like this thing has almost just been gone through not that long ago. I want to get those pistons out and get a good look at them. We'll get there in a minute. I need a 1/4 inch drive. Well, that's a surprise. Got a double roller in it. So the nylon we found means that timing gear components went out and they've been replaced. Who knows how many miles are on them, but oh, those are still nice and tight. Those are getting reused. After cleaning, of course. Fuzzies on them. Everything that has oil on it, you leave it outside around here, it gets covered in those stupid cottonwood seeds. Oh yeah, that's a Cloy's brand. That's good stuff. That's what I use in my Toyotas. They make good components. Find a couple bolts, we'll slide that cam out of there. There we go, one camshaft. See if I can find any part numbers on this thing. See what it is. Because it is in outstanding shape. I don't see any oddball wear. I don't think I'm going to reuse it, but you never know. Might find that it's something good. Cam bearings all look to be in really nice shape. I mean, I've put a camshaft in way worse. Let's put it that way. So after doing a little digging, just checking part numbers, this cam might hang around. Now, it's not going to be for this build, not for this motor, but it is a good camshaft. I mean, not only is it in outstanding condition, here's what I'm surmising happened. Because I know the father of the guy who used to own this engine. He was an avid hot rodder. I can only assume, because we found all the nylon down in the pan and up in the head, this motor had a nylon gear set up. Obviously it failed. I talked to a friend of mine who's much more knowledgeable than me in the small block Chevys, and those nylon gears could fail at any point. And the timing chain's been done already, and it's been upgraded to a double roller. This is, in fact, an aftermarket camshaft. This is a Comp Cams 211. It's too much cam for what I'm doing. This is a high RPM cam, but that tells me more than likely the guy that owned this motor, his dad had been through this motor at some point. If it had not been through it, he was at least probably the one that did the cam and the timing gears in it and replaced it and freshened it up. The motor's been painted orange. That's not factory. It was all sealed with silicone on the gaskets. That's not factory. Somebody has been through this thing. Oh, and it has these soft plugs in it. So I'm going to assume, even though there's a pretty good piston ridge, this bottom end is totally fine. I soaked the heads last night, filled up the combustion chambers with solvent, and made sure nothing leaked out of either the intake or the exhaust ports. Everything stayed dry, so I'm assuming the valve seats are doing their job the way they need to. I think this motor is ready to go. I think it's going to get slapped back together, and we'll fire it up and see how it does. Alright, that's as far as I'm going to tear it down. Everything's cleaned up. The gasket surfaces are all prepped. The heads are cleaned. I got all the tins over there. They're all cleaned up except for the oil pan. I picked up a 2-barrel intake. I'm going to clean that up tomorrow. Get a gasket kit coming. This motor does have a pretty good ridge, but I'm not relying on this motor for longevity. It just needs to last until I get the gasifier for the V10 finished up, and then I'll spend some time and work out what I'm going to do with the Toyota, whether it ends up going back to a 4-cylinder or if I rebuild another V8 to put in it, or I don't know yet. It's kind of all up in the air. But this is as far as I'm going to go. This is going to be a poor man junkyard style rebuild. I have no idea how many miles are on this bottom end. I don't know if these pistons are stock. They're not stamped that they're oversized. But this is a 70s motor, so it's well into the small gears. It's only a 165 horse engine. I don't really care. I'm going to get gaskets together, get this thing slapped up, put it all together. We'll put the pan on it after I fix the pickup tube that's fallen off. We'll fill it up with oil, prime it. I'm going to fire this thing up on the stand, see how it runs. If it doesn't burn oil, and if it doesn't have blowby, it's going to get bolted straight into the truck. If I put it all together and it has either one of those, well, not that big of a deal. I'll pull it back down real quick. Short amount of runtime, the gaskets will be fine, and we'll rebuild it a little further if we need to, whether it's ball hone it out and oversize, or cross that bridge when we get there. But that's as far as I'm going to take it. Now I need some parts so I can start slapping it back together.